Over the last 10 years, fields like artificial intelligence, data science, and modern web development have absolutely exploded. This chart shows the percentage of Stack Overflow questions over time. Look at the green line skyrocketing past Java, JavaScript, and C. By 2020, Python became the primary language powering nearly every major machine learning framework and web backend. And this chart shows that Python dominates the most wanted list at 25.7%. It is the single most desired language for developers to learn right now. But because demand is so high, the market is flooded with low-quality copy-paste tutorials. Many of these programs are optimized for marketing, not education. Warning tone. This creates a dangerous trap known as tutorial hell. A student can flawlessly follow browser prompts, click run, and earn a certificate, but they still cannot write original code. The moment they sit down to build their first independent project, they stare at a blank screen, completely paralyzed. Learning Python requires navigating a trade-off. You can choose a path that gives you accessibility, momentum, and quick dopamine hits. Or you can choose a path that forces you to build resilience and independent debugging skills. The best Python course is simply a myth. The only way to avoid wasting 6 months of your life is to match a course's specific friction level to your actual career goal. Let's look at the gamified platforms like Mimo, Codecademy, and Free Codecamp. These let you type code directly into a web browser and receive immediate AI feedback. The primary benefit is momentum. With zero setup time, you start coding immediately, generating quick dopamine hits to build a daily habit. But this creates a false sense of security. You are completely shielded from the messy reality of an actual developer's computer. For example, real-world projects require something called virtual environments, or VENV, to manage conflicting software versions locally. Browser courses hide this completely. They also largely skip essential workplace tools like Git version control, which professional teams rely on to collaborate. Platforms like Mimo have added AI builders to help bridge this gap, but the core browser experience still keeps you away from deep, systemic troubleshooting. Interactive paths work well for testing the waters and building a daily coding habit, but because they skip essential local setup skills, they are insufficient on their own for landing a developer job. On the other end of the spectrum is the deep rigor of university-level courses, specifically Harvard's CS50P. Harvard relies on an 80-20 rule. The lectures intentionally teach only 80% of what you need to solve the assignments. You are forced to research the remaining 20% on your own. The European equivalent to this extreme rigor is the Helsinki Python MOOC. Helsinki uses a strict autograder. A single typo fails the entire code block and blocks your progression until you find and fix the bug. These academic courses force you to deeply master complex concepts like object-oriented programming, which gamified apps often skim over. The downside is the friction. The Helsinki MOOC requires over 280 hours of study, and without an instructor to bail you out, that frustration becomes a major hurdle to finishing. Academic rigor builds the exact mental toughness and research skills required for professional software engineering, but it actively destroys motivation for casual learners. Sitting between those extremes is the project and habit path, focusing on options like 100 days of code and automate the boring stuff. The strength here is immediate workplace utility. You spend your time building daily, real-world scripts like web scrapers or Excel automators. The hidden drawback is that web technologies update constantly. Course materials break, meaning you will spend hours digging through Discord forums just to fix outdated tutorial code. Then there is the patient data path, defined by Dr. Chuck's Python for Everybody out of the University of Michigan. Dr. Chuck uses slow-paced, conversational video lectures to make complex concepts, like pulling data through APIs, simple to grasp. The limitation is its narrow focus. It relies heavily on data extraction, but lacks training on modern web frameworks like Django or Flask and advanced data visualization. These paths offer the fastest route to tangible workplace utility. However, to turn those scripting skills into a hireable full-stack developer resume, you will need supplemental education. You need to stop looking for the best course and identify your specific end goal. The first profile is the casual explorer. You are just curious and want to know if coding is actually fun. Recommend Codecademy or FreeCademy. You can test the waters with zero financial risk and zero setup frustration. The second profile is the task automator. You already have a job, but you want to save 5 hours a week on spreadsheets. Take Automate the Boring Stuff, or 100 Days of Code. You need to prioritize immediate utility over deep computer science theory. The final profile is the job seeker. You want to pivot into a high-paying career as a professional software engineer. This path requires surviving technical interviews. You must pair a rigorous foundation like CS50P or Helsinki with hands-on portfolio building. Employers do not hire course certificates. They hire developers with a GitHub portfolio who have proven they can independently solve real problems.